Setting the franchise record for assists by a reserve for you. Mike talked before about putting the ball in your hands a lot, giving you opportunities because they recognize what you could do. What does that mean to you, and what does this milestone mean to you?
I think that's what you want if you want to play basketball, man, at a high level. Your coach trusting you making decisions, you getting the ball. So, yeah, man, I just been making the right plays. My teammates been there knocking the shots down, so it ain't all me. But, yeah, I just been, I guess, rolling.
Malik, it looked from the opening tip, Kevin and Harrison both had a bounce in their step. You came in, you had that same bounce. What is it about this game tonight that you guys just sort of found yourselves?
We got to perform in front of the home crowd. We knew that, especially with how we went down against Houston. We were up a little bit. They took the fight to us. We laid down a little bit. We knew we could not lay down against this great team, especially with all the weapons they have over there. And I think that's what it was. We didn't lay down in the third quarter and just kept our energy up.
Yeah, Malik, it feels like every time we ask you about Keon, you're like, this is just what he does.
He does, for
So
sure.
what is it that you feel like you can rely on him to do every night?
Be solid. Be solid in whatever he does. Whatever situation you put him in, he'll be solid at, for sure. He a smart player, want to learn, listens. So, yeah, man, that's Keon being a professional.
You had 5 assists, no turnovers tonight. What did it mean for you to be able to be as efficient as you are out there?
Oh yeah, man, it's great. It makes the defense, I think, off balance because they don't know what I'm gonna do, especially when I'm not turning the ball over. I'm making the right play, scoring, kicking it out, hockey assists. So yeah, man, it just makes the defense a little uncomfortable and don't know what I'm gonna be doing.
Hey, Malik, back to that record, the assist record here for the franchise.
Yeah, I told Bobby I was gonna beat him.
Did you?
Yeah, I told him that.
How do you take it?
And I told him that before as soon as I signed, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat your records, Bobby. I've been here 2 years too.
I mean, just to that point, though, like, yeah, not having 2 full seasons, to be able to do that and not even 2 full seasons, just how gratifying is that?
Yeah, it's great, man. Especially, let me back up on Mike trusting me. Him putting the ball in my hands, my teammates trusting me, knowing I'm gonna make the right play. And like I said, that's just, if you want to play basketball, I think you want to be in a position like this.
And then for you guys, I mean, you guys have beat good teams all year. It's kind of like what you guys do. But obviously you have the other games I mean, to have a game like tonight, does it even impress you guys the way you were able to pull that out? Trey goes down, no Keegan.
It definitely impressed me how we kept the lead because we usually get a lead up, fight, and win by like 8 or something like that. I was impressed on how we fought all the way through, especially without Trey, without Keegan, and with Kev having a little injury too, man. I was super impressed on that. But we got a game tomorrow, so.
Malik, I imagine it was nice to see an opposing team have a rough shooting night, but what do you think specifically you guys did, the Kings did tonight, to make sure the perimeter shooting was tough for them?
I think we just stick to our game plan, man, and closed out hard. Didn't give them easy looks, and just contested every shot they shot. We're in the NBA, so they're gonna miss whether you like it or not, or they're gonna make it whether you like it or not. So luckily they was missing tonight.
King of the Kings, you clearly are a much better point guard than a lot of people realize. The more point guard you've played while you've been here, do you feel like you've gotten better at playing point guard?
More comfortable. I wouldn't say better because I had the ball in my hands my whole life. I just got way more comfortable in the decision making and reading the NBA court.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Darren, great win for you guys as a group. I guess I'll ask you about both Domas and Malik and kind of the milestones they reached, the records they set tonight. Like, what can you say about the marks they've achieved and what those things mean to the team?
Well, B-Jack wasn't trying to pass, so I was like Malik, you should have got that. But nah, he's been great for us. Ever since he's been here, I think he's expanded his game. I don't think people realize how good of a playmaker he was. One coming into the league, and then our first couple years in the league. But we've really given him that freedom, and I think he's done a great job with it. And then Domas, I mean, night in, night out, he's come up big for us. Like I said, we talked about before how I think immune people are to it. Like no one outside of basically us talks about it. But that's obviously a hard thing to do, and there's a reason that not many people have done it. But he comes ready to play every night. He hasn't missed a game this year. He's on track to play all 82, obviously, knock on wood, or whatever this is. But he's not just playing every game. He's contributing, and he's making an impact every single night that he's out there.
De'Aaron, Damian Lillard, 2 of 12 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. What did you guys do to slow him down? Just how proud are you of Keon Ellis for stepping up?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say I think a lot of that had to do with Keon, just being able to pressure the ball. He's long, very active. He's able to get through screens. I think he was big for us. And then, obviously, when Davion's on him, just continuing to pressure the ball, getting through screens, fighting, just making him have to work. I think those two guys were big on him tonight. And, obviously, there are times where we got lucky. That happens. You're not going to – every single shot won't – you can't contest every single shot. There are times where you just have to get lucky. But I think we did a great job on him tonight.
Yeah, Darren, a lot of talk recently about spray threes on one end and then closeouts on the other, and I felt like you guys did a good job of both tonight. Just how good does that feel with how much of an emphasis there had been on that?
I think we played a great game. I think defensively we were physical. Obviously, we gave up more free throws than we wanted to, but I think we were physical, and that kind of just trickled on to everything. I think we were able to defend the paint well, and then we were able to get out to shooters. And I think defensively we did a great job, and I think that fueled our offense. Obviously, we scored 130 points, but even if we didn't play that well offensively, if we have a even below average game and you score 110, like we still win this game by 15. So it was, I think, what we did defensively was our. There was one other game it might have been a Denver game maybe at home, I think. But I think those are two of the most complete games that we've played this year.
When y'all go to the 3-guard lineups, whether it's you, Malik, and Keon, you, Malik, and Davion, whichever the combination is, what advantages do you think y'all have?
I mean, obviously the one thing that we really focus on when three of us are out there is rebounding, because we know that we're small. But I think you have any combination of me, Keon, and Davion out there, I think the ball pressure skyrockets. You being able to, at times, if obviously a lot of times, especially when I'm out there, they cross match. Like I'm a shooting guard or a wing is guarding me, so then the point guard's guarding somebody else. So it's a lot easier for like Keon or Davion to go ahead and already pick them up. Or if we're cross matched another way and I'm able to pick them up, we're just able to give them different looks and throw different things out there. And then offensively, especially with the way that Davion's shooting the ball and Keon's shooting the ball, I think it opens up a lot more for us offensively, being able to attack closeouts, get downhill. You have multiple guys who can touch the paint. And obviously we just talked about spray threes. It allows that to open up even more when we have 3 guards out there.
Fox, first off, camera caught you in the bench. Reaction
Kev's reaction was crazy. He was, I don't know if y'all saw, I hit him on the head. He's like, he's from upstate. I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, that's the first thing that Worldwide Woe posting. That's the first thing that people are going to see is how we react. And he got him for sure.
You joked after the most recent game just about playing up or down to the level of competition and playing against great teams. Of course, Milwaukee's a great team, but what about tonight do you feel is repeatable that this team can continue to do?
I mean, I think they've had the best. They've had the best offense since the break. I think, but I mean, just what we did physically, just being able to try to stop them. I mean, I think they had 12 points in the paint in the second half, ended with 42. I'm almost certain that they average a lot more than 42 points in the paint. Obviously, we have to be able to adjust how they're officiating. Sometimes it's like nothing you can do about it, but even with that said, I think the way that we were able to guard, the way that we were just keeping our hands on them and trying to dictate what they did offensively was great. And that's one thing that can be repeatable. Obviously, you're not going to stop. You're not going to make someone shoot 18% from three all the time. But if we're able to guard the paint like the way that we did tonight, you put yourself in a great position.
De'Aaron, guys forced 13 turnovers. You got 11 steals, man. I don't know if you saw that or not, but what do you got to say about that? And I'll say it again. A lot of these steals have been turning into fast break points or some type of conversion.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously we scored 130 points, but a lot of that was fueled by what we were doing defensively. I mean, I think I had 2. I think Keon had 3. The whole starting lineup, everybody had a steal. That makes it a lot easier to put the ball in the basket. And like I said, whenever for us to reach our full potential, we know that defensively we have to be a team that's able to be disruptive, be able to get out and run, and that makes our offense that much better. Oh.
Get to work. But I don't fuck with bugs.
First, congratulations to Malik for most assists and as a reserve in Kings history. That's definitely an honor that he's earned, and by his play and with his teammates too. So congratulations to him on that, and then congratulations to Domas for the most consecutive double-doubles in Kings history as well. They both obviously had great games, but more importantly, they've had really, really good careers in their short time here so far. I'd say, heck of a game by our guys. We've started Keon 5 games now. We started him 4 times at the point guard position and 1 time at the 2 guard. And the funny part about it, everybody keeps telling me, well, he's not a point. Well, he's not this. He's not that. He started 4 games for us at the point. He's 4-0 at the point guard spot. Started 1 game at the 2 guard position. And, we got the win when he started at the 2. He's just a basketball player. And he's a pretty good young basketball player. So he was our defensive player of the game. And, you're not stopping Dame Lillard, but the job he did just to try to make him work for a young guy was phenomenal to watch. I thought defensively our guys were really good. One of our Achilles heel is the three-point line, and our guys, they were flying around tonight. Their closeouts we had some beautiful, beautiful high fives on our closeouts, and that's what we've been preaching day after day after day after day. And even at times when it wasn't perfect, we just were flying around trying to protect one another, communicating and seeing what we can get done on that end of the floor. And for them to go 739, now they had to miss some, but some of those misses are a product of us flying around and them thinking somebody may come too. So for them to go 7 of 39 from the floor with the way they shoot the ball was just a phenomenal job by our guys defending that three-point line. So I got to give them a lot of credit. And, you talk about defensively, we had 2 stops to finish the third and 6 straight stops to start the fourth. So to get 8 stops in a row, that's what helps you blows the lead open. And then again, 12 points in the paint in the second half. Our guys did a good job of protecting the three-point line and also trying to protect the paint. But it's a telltale sign when we're active. I think we had 21 deflections tonight. That shows our activity. And then a big result was there were 6 50-50 balls, and we got all 6 of them. That's huge too, which in terms of showing your activity and your sense of urgency during the ball game. But in our last game we couldn't throw the ball in the ocean, and that's part of it. Tonight it was a little easier because we sprayed the basketball. We've been averaging 11 sprays a game the last 3 or 4 games, and we've been talking to our guys, showing them film, talking to them, showing them film, and that spray is open because we have some talented guys that can touch the paint, and we were 10 for 20 tonight. When it came to sprays, and you shoot 10 for 20 from the 3-point line, as we know, that's a good percentage, but 20 of those attempts came from just like you guys, when you guys are young and you're shooting and somebody's standing underneath the hoop and passing it out to you, your feet are set, it's like you're playing horse. Those are probably the easiest shots from the 3-point line in the game of basketball. And so to have 20 sprays and go 10 for 20 was huge for us on the offensive end of the floor, as well as getting out in transition and playing at a pace that we're capable of against a really good team, scoring 18 fast break points. Even though we shot 53% from the floor, our guys were very active on the offensive glass, at least converting the ones that we had into points. So that was good to see too.
Mike, you might have touched on this already a little bit just in that mix, but Milwaukee, I think, got as close as 14 in the third quarter, making a little bit of a push, trying to make a game. Your team responds. You mentioned the 2 possessions at the end of the third and the 4 or 6 possessions at the start of the fourth. But what specifically did you see from the team how they answered that push when Milwaukee had an opportunity to try and make a game of it in the second half?
I tell you, our defensive intensity, our sense of urgency on that end of the floor, it was really good. We mixed in zone and man throughout most of the night, and our guys were really, really receptive in terms of getting to a zone on the fly, which is huge because it can be chaotic at times, especially as fast as we play. But, again, I really think, if we continue to play the right way offensively, which we've done for the most part, especially since All-Star break, minus Houston, we're going to give ourselves a chance to score a lot of points. What we have to do is we have to buckle down and stop their runs, and get stops defensively, because when we do, especially as active as we were in that second half, now we're getting out in transition, and we're turning our defense into easy offensive points. And I thought our guys were really good at that when they went on a run and we responded back with a run of our own. I mean, you can feel the crowd into it. You can feel our guys defensively, and you can sure as hell feel them once we got that ball, us getting out and running, whether it was off a deflection or off of a defensive rebound.
Mike, it's kind of a strange question, but do you have a feel for who this team is? Because it seems like we have no idea from one game to the next who's going to show up. And like tonight was just spectacular, but just a couple of days ago we saw something different.
Yeah, I felt that our offense was a product of our defense. We got a lot of opportunities out in transition before their defense was set. We were getting it off the rim and going. We were throwing it ahead and knocking down threes. on top of that, I really believe that we're a team that's more than capable of touching that paint and spraying the basketball, and we did that tonight. We're the number one passing team in the league, and so for us to continue to find ways to get easy threes is paramount. I mean, we have to be able to do that because we're not going to sit here and dribble 15 times and try to break it down every time down the floor with one guy. And so I just think we're a team right now that has a chance to be really good, but is going through some ups and downs, in my opinion, like any inexperienced team in the position that we're in. I mean, we're trying to play this game with some expectations as a group that we're not used to having overall. And, it's going to cause for some ups, it's going to cause for some downs. And the one thing that you hope is everybody continues to stay together. But while staying together, we each hold each other accountable. And, as long as you feel like you're making strides, especially towards the end of the season, going into playoff time, for me personally, I don't like it. I don't want it to happen, but I can live with some inconsistencies throughout the course of the year, especially where we are as a group when you're looking at the individuals on this roster, which is not a ton of experience in the position that we're in right now.
This obviously predates you, but 15 straight losses to the Bucks, and earlier in the season you had an overtime game, 1-point game, and here you are playing them the way you did tonight. I'm just wondering if this team felt like they had to get up for a game like this, and then when you talked about having Keegan gone and then you lose Trey, did that kind of bring something out of this team at all?
Maybe. I mean, you'd have to ask each individual guy. Obviously, I just think we have a group that's faced some injuries, and especially early on, we didn't do a great job with it. But as the season has gone along, having key guys out and reserves step in, on big occasions has been something that we've been able to do. Guys are just finding a way. They're not trying to come in the game and do too much, and they're contributing however and whenever they can. And so I felt it was that more than anything else. Again, we talked about some of the things that we didn't do well against Houston, one of them being spraying the basketball. And, we go from averaging 11 a game the last, 4 games, getting 10 against Houston and shooting 18%, and to tonight getting 20 and shooting 50% on those 20. So, you can point to a lot of different things, but I think when we do play the right way, which our guys are more than capable of, we could be a dangerous team because we can score, obviously, and I truly believe we can defend. I don't know. I know a couple of games ago we were 12th on the road in defensive rating and 28th at home in defensive rating. So that tells me through 60 games, if you're 12th on the road in defensive rating, you can defend. And tonight, I thought we brought it on both sides of the ball the right way.
Keon seems like he's always getting deflections on and off ball. How important has that been to this group? And is there anybody from years prior that he reminds you of, like playing defense?
Man, that's a great question. I would have to think about that question. But he's got an uncanny ability to defend the pick and roll, to be a great weak side help defender, strong side help defender. He's really elusive and really quick back to the ball. And what people don't realize is how long his arms are, and then he's got a motor where he just keeps pursuing, and you need to have that relentless attitude if you want to be a great defender or an elite defender, and he definitely has it. And I know there's probably somebody that out there that I've been around that's been like him. Not many guys though, but he has a chance to be a special defender. You're talking about a young man that was on a two-way last year. I don't think he got drafted. He's on a 2A last year, and I said this before. I've been playing him, yanking him back, playing him, yanking him back, playing him, yanking him back, and he's just stayed ready, and he's been as steady as he can be. And so I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's stepping up. I'm happy we rewarded him with a regular contract, and he's showing that he's more than worth what we gave him.
Coach, as you've pointed out, the offense has been very productive since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But I noticed this is the first time in, I think, 12 games that you've gotten up 40 threes. How important is it for you to be near that number? And does that also speak, again, to the importance not only of the number of threes, but the quality of spray threes that your offense is producing?
You said it right there. If again, we're not coming off a pick and roll and shooting a three. We're not dancing with it and shooting a three. We have to move the basketball. Now, we're going to get some off of DHOs, because Domas does a great job with his screening and his handoffs, and we play with pace coming off those things. But you're not going to be able to get a lot if people know you play the DHO game, because see how teams, they're physical with us. They're slapping down at the ball, hitting our bodies, all that other stuff when we're coming off DHOs. So the one thing that we have to do, they know Foxy can get to the paint. They know Domas catches the ball in the pocket. They know Malik can get to the paint. Davion and other guys have done it too. We have to spray the ball because everybody is doing that. And so what you said is 100% accurate. We were able to get up more threes tonight because we sprayed the ball, and that was one of the biggest things that I mentioned is our 20 sprays. If that's what we want every game, are we going to get 20 sprays? Probably not, but if we can get close to it, great. Are we going to go 10 for 20 every time? Probably not, but we're at least going to have a heck of a chance to get closer to 50% or better, plus get the amount of threes. We want 40, 50 threes if we can get them, but the right threes. So we have to continue spraying the ball, and it was really evident tonight compared to the other nights of what we look like on the offensive end versus a pretty good defensive team.
Hey, Mike. You mentioned that you guys are 5-0 with Keon Ellis in the starting lineup, and it feels like a lot of what he brings is pretty sustainable. Is that a change you've considered making permanent?
No. I think, Keon, we can get him on the floor at any time. I think, our starters have done a great job for most of the year. And I just have to keep trying to find opportunities to get him on the floor for longer stretches. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and we want to get to 20 every night. We were 10 for 20. It's 10 makes 20 sprays. We want to get to 20.